Hello, hello guys, we are in the next season already and look at that, there's plenty of sheep already in your town center giving 200 food only. We have LoueMT playing as the Byzantines in the color of pink against Beastie playing as the Ayyubids in his classic color yellow. Looking forward to see what are these guys cooking. So what happened to the Byzantines? Byzantines got a little bit of a nerf. They basically they reduced the cost of the farms, went from, let's take a look at how much, from 60 to 70. So normally what the Byzantines do is like they stay in their base a lot, they put all these groups quite a lot, and then, you know, they just get more and more mercenaries and they don't necessarily need to go out on the map. If they get in a situation where they are stuck, they can just make farms and they have food, an army, and everything's wonderful. That got a nerf, a small nerf, and let's see if that really affects the Byzantines or not. Meanwhile, the Ayyubids got some changes. The big one here is that the military wing doesn't instantly produce Deserator. So basically it will wait like 15 seconds. Just pretty much like the king of... I was gonna say the king of England. The English king is like produce his king for now like 50 seconds, I believe. This one just takes 15 seconds and every 15 seconds it will get a free Deserator. This one, I think it's huge. This one I really think is huge because a lot of the power of this build came from arriving at the right time, arriving really soon, so that your opponent, whatever is it that he wants to do, he needs to build some army first to defend. So for example, if I'm playing with Abbasid against Ayyubids, I'm kind of forced to go for the military wing, even though like they're gonna go fast castle, right? So I may like to go to the culture wing, but because this guy is coming, I need to go for my military wing, and I need to get some units right away. Whereas if this guy takes some time, maybe I can have an extra time to build a barracks and defend, and it all comes down to 15 seconds in the early game. That's how huge this is. Meanwhile, Louis, it's sticking to the traditional Byzantines build. He's just gonna build a ground binary. Meanwhile, Beastie going for the trade wing advisors. Like, this is another thing that was buffed with the Ayyubids. Is like they give you 3 on the feudal age, and in the castle age I don't remember if they give you 4 or 5. But anyway, you can always build them from here. Like if you want, like you can always build them from here. So look at that. Different rally points. I think this one is for... Huh? I think this one is for like military rally points and economic units rally points. That's what it is, which is huge, especially on water maps, because you want to create military units, and basically what you do is you put the same position as the fishing boats, and you don't want that most of the time. Anyway, Louis going for horticulture. Meanwhile, BC getting that wheelbarrow as soon as he can, and the House of Wisdom will get those atabeg. Atabeg? Is that how you pronounce this? I'm sure it's not, but it's like atabeg. It's right here, and basically what they do is they will give you 20% health for every unit produced inside the building here. Scout cooking, actually. If you don't really take care of this, like it will actually burn a lot of stuff. But the thing is, you don't scout what's around, and that's a bigger issue. Look at these guys. These guys are just gonna be inside a building. And now the units that come from here, they just have 20% health. Thing, it's like bootcamp. To be honest, I like the bootcamp more because you don't need to produce this thing to boot it. But bootcamp is only for infantry units, and this one you can put anywhere. I mean, it's not only infantry, but you can put in the stable, and the horseman now will have more HP. Now, whether that's a big thing or a not such a big thing, we're about to see. We're about to see. But look at this guy, 150 HP. His buff is a horse that ate more. Let me take a beautiful screenshot about this. This is beautiful to witness. The atabeg is back here, guys. It is back. Now he's going for some harassment. So basically, I believe the strategy with this, because Ayyubids still, like, there is still very good incentive to go to the castle age, even though the economic wing growth now give only 7 villagers instead of 8 in the castle age. There's still big incentive. So I think the atabeg build, it's more of a, I'm gonna go to harass with a horseman that have more HP, and then I'm going like, and then I'm gonna go castle. But I mean, your harassment will be less effective compared to the military wing because you need to spend some resources. But I think in the long run it helps a lot because you can actually get all those units that come from your production buildings already have more HP, and in the long term it will help you a lot, especially if you want to go for camel lancers in the castle age. They will be very buff. Like 20% of a very low HP is not much of a big deal when you have more HP. Like these guys have way more HP than what they should because it's percentage based, so it's quite a huge deal and makes things a little bit harder on the castle age. So let's see what BC will do here. I already have 4 archers. Meanwhile, Louis have been focusing a lot of what BC is doing because of the new thing. Louis, let's take a look. It's also building farms. Have the mercenary house. He went for the Lombos, so he went for the Western mercenary contract, and he is playing like pretty much like an English guy. Pretty much like an English guy, just closed. Actually, English don't even need walls. They just come to my base there if you can. But he's gonna be focusing on his economy right inside his base. Unusual to see this from Louis. Very unusual. Perhaps he's also trying some stuff, you know, just taking a look at how much in the long run these this price for the farms really affect him. Like if you make one, like not a big deal, right? It's 10 wood. But if you make like 10, it's like 100, and I don't know if that's a big deal or not. Looks like it's not really. But he's like, this is a beautiful base. This is the kind of base you imagine when you play Age of Empires, no matter what the age you play. When you're a kid, you're an adult, you want to play Age of Empires. This feels very safe. When you have a wall like this, you feel, oh man, I'm in paradise now. I'm like a resort 5-star, full of olive roofs. Nobody can come. There is no such thing as waiting for you to increase your stress levels to ways that you haven't imagined yet, especially against the French. It's nothing better than a base like this. It's like beautiful, almost like you're playing role. Let's take a look at BC because he may be aging up and we don't know about this. Unfortunately, the devs haven't patched the Asia process for the Ayyubids, which is terrible. So atabeg are already there in a couple of archer range and stable, so he's mostly gonna buff the archers, which is a significant buff. Like this is pretty much like bootcamp, you know. It's like the bootcamp for the it's the manual version of the bootcamp. It's kind of like, you know, your manual cars then go to automatic, and there is a bunch of people, especially like I don't know if this is from my dad age, like say, no, automatic, no, not so good, man. You need to use manual, you need to fill the car and everything. I know there's a lot of car people out there who are agree with that. Not necessarily old, very young too. But then there's the new generation of people who says like, oh man, you cannot just get the automatic car. I mean, the real automatic, the economic, without a motor. Electric cars. There you go. There are a lot of those in China. I will say at least 50% of the cars you see here are electric cars. And then they transition from automatic to electric. You're gonna go electric cars. Oh my god, what are we talking? What are we talking? Meanwhile, Golden Horn Tower going up for Louis. At the same time, economic wing growth with a little bit of a nerf. One villager less. It's a small nerf, but still very, very good. 7 villagers is not a bad lead to have in this point in the game. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the income per minute. Villager just gonna repair that. Nobody enters the heaven. Horseman just gonna running away from now. He knows that Asia is coming. Doesn't want to lose his mass. And there are plenty of spearmen here, so this is normally, like, if you're like a micro god and you see this, like you have 21 archers and 10 horsemen, I feel like you're in a good position to take the fight. If you're a micro god, if you're like a potato like me, where you just lose your horseman against the spearman, like you look like 2 seconds away and it's like, oh, my horsemen are dead, then I probably wait a little bit. And Louis already reached the castellation. Let's take a look at what he's creating. A barracks coming up for him. Couple of barracks. Gonna be upgrading those units. Veteran mercenaries and veteran limitane. Meanwhile, Beastie still haven't aged up yet. It's on the way. Only 20 seconds left. Gotta love the Ayyubids or the Abbasid age up. Especially when you want to age up, it's like you want to do it fast, and they're like, it's okay, man. I'm gonna take my time. You don't hurry me. You know you're in a hurry. Look at that, 7 villagers. I know you're in a hurry, but I'm just gonna take my time. 2 minutes. I know you need it like now, but it's like that's all they can do. Meanwhile, veterans coming for all those units. Do they have like the golden age already? Yeah, there is golden age tier 2 research speed plus 50%. Oh my god, that's a huge one. He's gonna get veterans very, very soon. Unfortunately, he has to take this fight. And veterans coming really soon for him. Mangonel, Manjanik already there, cooking, looking forward to push with BC. And that's a problem with a single Maginik, and I mean, there's nothing you can do here. And Louis is already losing all his army. He lost pretty much almost all his limitane. A few lombos left, and horsemen just cooking. Meanwhile, more horsemen coming up for BC, as well as some camel lancers are starting to join into the battle here. Meanwhile, Louis push back to heaven, back to paradise. Here, nothing happens. All the danger outside. It's like when you tell your kid, like, don't go outside. It's dangerous outside. The the safest place for you is like at home. It's pretty much paradise. The problem is the gold. It's in a very exposed spot, and that's a big issue. Louis will have to go out for gold. Like, either here, the big one, or either here. This one is a very close one. You can just put another wall here, I guess. Mangonel in placement coming for this outpost. Now keep in mind, like, oh my god, look at this. It is raining hell here. It is raining hell. I don't remember if the Mangonel in placement got a nerf. I don't quite remember that. If you know, let me know in the comments. Look at that, look at the details. The floor is like burned. Chef kiss, chef kiss. Relics are already there to be picked for Beastie. Meanwhile, Louis already have one relic coming home for him. The cool thing about having the Grand Winery is that basically he can just build a monk right away. There you go, first relic coming for Louis. Meanwhile, let's take a look at Beastie's base. Still with the same production buildings. Camel Lancers, let's take a look at it. Plus 42 health. That's a big buff. Like, that's a very, very big buff. Plus 42 health for this big boy. That's a big one. Meanwhile, Louis trying to take down some of these units. He thinks he's enough, but looks like it's not gonna be enough. Camel Lancer just with too much HP. It should have been dead already, but it's not. It's alive and it's kicking ass. Meanwhile, Louis going for some food here. Problem is Beastie already sent a single archer there to check the resources. Low attempt to distract the opponent. And looks like Louis also got denied the gold here. So it's like really bad. Really bad for him. Magic just doing magic stuff. That's a good thing about this, is that they have extra range and they do cause like a lot of damage overall to buildings. With that, two of them do so much damage now. Mangonel in placement. Still have 8 tiles range, that's wild. Outpost coming here for Louis, just to be sure. Have some extra food for him. Meanwhile, not a lot of farms for him. He did went for a second town center. So he's pretty much stacking his base for now. That's a lot of archers. This outpost, that's the thing, you cannot really underestimate this outpost. Because the moment you step in, the Mangonel shots are just gonna kill all your infantry units. And it happened to me once where I just thought, not a big deal, it's just an outpost, I can take it down, and I just lost all my army against a single Mangonel outpost. I was shocked. I was shocked. And now the big boy arrived. And with the Mangonels. Oh my god, the villagers. 12 villagers dead in a blink of an eye. I think it was like 10, to be honest. 12 is like the total here. The archers just dealing quite a lot of damage. There's plenty of archers here. Meanwhile, Mangonel's just doing Mangonel stuff, and Louis taps out. Guys, welcome to the new season, and finally new ways to play the game. Hopefully you enjoyed this watch, and see you in the next one.